is looking good and the broader markets are performing in line, if not better than the benchmark. On the sell side, you've got a few stocks, but the cuts are not very large, and I think that's what traders will be taking heart from in today's day of trade. But we have with us Nilesh Jain and Ajit Mishra to join us to tell us about the F&O picture and trading strategies for the day. Nilesh, yesterday was a flat day, but it seemed like we were coming close to
Bank Nifty. Ajit, good morning to you as well. How are you placed when it comes to these indices?
Yeah, good morning, Agam. So, Agam, after this recent dip, once we reached that 21,850 mark, markets were under pressure, and yesterday we made a low around 21,700. Though by the end we managed to end around 21,800 mark. Still, we are trading below the short-term averages, that is the 20 EMA, which is placed around 21,100 mark, and halfway to the candle of the sharp decline that we had in the last week, maybe closer to around 22,200. So that's the area basically where I feel that we continue to act as a strong resistance area. So I broadly expect consolidation in the index, and the bias would only shift once we cross 22,200 mark decisively. The good part is that we are still, seeing the U.S. markets doing well, and means there was hardly any correction in the U.S. market in the recent past also. So that may continue to help the market to at least, cap the damage in case if there's any further profit taking in the market. So all in all, it's likely to consolidate within the range of, let's say, 21,900 to 22,200. But banking looks comparatively better, and once we cross 47,200 mark, I feel the banking can outshine the Nifty index, at least in the near future. So among the stocks, and among the indices, banking should be the preferred candidate if you are looking any long trade. And any, let's say, dip towards, let's say, 46,700 zone, one can look for fresh buying opportunity in banking.
Bank Nifty could be a better opportunity than the Nifty, and a buy call coming in from Ajit on that. Ajit, you want to talk to me about, of course, we've talked about the Nifty, we've talked about Bank Nifty. What is the verdict on InfiBees? Anything on, tech play in the market right now? I mean, would you consider going long on the tech index with the backdrop that, of course, the U.S. markets, the rate cut picture hasn't changed very much?
In fact, that in the last 1 month, we are seeing a very, diverse trend in the tech-heavy index, that is Nasdaq Composite and the IT stocks in our markets. So the Nasdaq Composite has made a new record high after 2 years of consolidation, but here from almost 1.5 months, we are seeing gradual drift. In fact, at the beginning of the week, I was anticipating that IT and FMCG is going to outrightly surprise the market with the positive tone. But it turned out to be otherwise, and we are seeing profit taking. So I feel for a time being now, one should be selective in IT space, and IT majors like TCS, HCL Tech, Infosys, these are better candidates to look at. And from the mid-cap IT basket, Birlasoft and Persistent are some of the names which one can look for accumulation, not to go for aggressive longs, but yeah, for the accumulation, these are candidates that one can definitely look at.
Okay. All right. Hold your thought, guys. We will slip into a short break, and on the other side, we get you a lot more in terms of stocks. Stay tuned in.
What about you? What are your top stock recommendations today?
Samina, both recommendations are on the long side. So Hindalco is common to what we have already discussed. That metal as a sector and in this, we are seeing resilience, though we have had days of sharp decline in some of these metal names. But largely the trend is up in most of these metal counters, except a couple of names, where we are still seeing the side-based negative trend. And Hindalco, basically, why Hindalco? Because the stock has been trading in a steady pricing channel, and off late we have tested the lower band of the same. And now it's set to fill the gap that we have on the daily chart. So we have a strong room on the higher side. So 560 is what we are eyeing in Hindalco. With stop at 535, one can go long in at current levels. Another stock which looks interesting to us is IRCTC. It's gradually drifted lower towards the support zone of the multiple moving averages, and now we have a strong base in place, and today we are seeing strong recovery with volume. So we expect this recovery to strengthen further in days to come, and 965 is what we are eyeing in the immediate future. With 905 also as a stop, one can go long in IRCTC as well.
So, of course, Hindalco being the common between the two, so there clearly is a consensus as far as Hindalco is concerned, and the other two interesting ideas as far as stock futures go. But let's address maybe one or two names from our end as well. Of course, things have changed quite a bit for Eicher Motors over yesterday. Let's take a look at how things are coming through for Eicher Motors today. So it is advancing, it's building on the kind of gains that we saw yesterday as well. It's 1.5%. That's where its underlying is. Can we also pull up the futures? Take a look at how things are panning out there as well, and perhaps get the future snapshot to see if there is in fact a further increase in open interest towards the longs, because that certainly was the case yesterday. No, so there is an unwinding coming through. And can we also pull up Maruti Suzuki? That's the other one. I can perhaps take both Maruti Suzuki and Eicher Motors with each of our experts here. Maruti Suzuki is flat today, even though it did move up significantly yesterday, and of course, it hit the 12,000 mark. But that Maruti Suzuki is also seeing unwinding. Ajit, let me come to you on Eicher Motors. Your view, do you think that there's more legs to the kind of strength that we've seen over the previous couple of days?
So yes, in fact, the one thing which is important about the stock is that being a gradual mover, the kind of move that we had in some of these other auto names like Bajaj Auto, Hero MotoCorp in past, it was almost a vertical move. So that is something which is still pending in Eicher, and I feel that these kind of base that after every breakout that it forms, gives you the strength, and especially in a market like this when we are seeing excessive volatility, it's definitely a stock to look at. After this, recent, up move, I feel there could be a bit of a breather around the current area. So it's an area to accumulate. So in the range of 3900 to 3960, something that one can definitely accumulate. And in the next run, 4200 plus is something that one should look at. So with stock at 3780, definitely one can look at accumulating Eicher at current levels.
Okay. And Nilesh, Maruti, for you, your view here.
Apart from that, the markets are keeping themselves together. You've got nothing really to worry about in terms of the street activity. Ajit, just one quick question on the OMC pack. We've seen a little bit of an up move over the last 2 days. Technically, F&O-wise, any strategy to play the HPCL and BPCL to the world?
I feel it's just a normal breather, after the recent decline that we have in most of these OMC names. So I feel in case you're stuck at the higher levels, it's an opportunity to exit and let the stock stabilize and form some fresh base. As of now, I feel that for HPCL, 480.85 is going to be the strong area to, resist. And if you have any position, then definitely you can look with the stop of around 455 in HPCL. To hold for 20 points higher than the current levels, and same hold true for BPCL also, for short-term averages is around 600 mark, and we are already at 585. So the upside seems to have been all these OMCs, so let them stabilize first before we take any fresh call.
All right, out of time on this show, guys. So take a moment to thank both our experts, Ajit and Nilesh, for joining us and taking us through their views in the markets, and of course discussing a whole host of stocks that we have on our radar. And with that, we also